Alright, Jin here. I just want to show you guys what I've been working on so far. So first of all, I've been working on a radar system. Think of it like a bare bones minimap system. Essentially what happens is it just shows you your team color when you come in, as well as your correct rotation, very standard stuff. This is an NPC, so as you can see, he's just white colored because he has no team. The second feature I want to show you guys is the zoom in effect. So if I go into PUBG and I get a 4x scope, equip. Now as you can see, when you use ADS in PUBG, it actually zooms in your entire screen. In other words, it just changes the entire FOV of your character, right? The entire screen zooms in. Now obviously your entire screen doesn't zoom in like that, but so if I grab my scope, you're gonna immediately notice when I ADS, my side vision, my spatial awareness is still there. Like it's still when I zoom everywhere else, but it's only inside the scope vision do you actually get the 4x magnification. And there's also this thing called the Scope Parallax, which is actually much more realistic to the real thing than it is the one in PUBG. For example, if I try to do it in PUBG, right, you still get it, but it is actually more of like a smokes and mirror kind of thing, like a visual effect. You can obviously tell that it is more of like a trickery, right, than it is a imitation of the real thing. It's sort of shortcut. That's actually not the word I'm looking for, but I just can't think of it right now. But when you look at it here, when I move the scope around, you can see that what this actually looks like is it's a zoom in scope, right? It's a circle with a 4x magnification, and then it almost looks like it's floating inside a black vacuum, right? If I move this around, you can obviously tell that there is a circle inside there, and everywhere else is just a black vacuum. It's almost as if like you just created like a different dimension in space, which is really weird, but that's how it looks like inside a scope in real life. Most of all, like, it does look pretty good, I think. My game so far. It also takes into account if you're jumping, right? If you're falling, if you're leaning. So if I'm falling here, for example, right, it works. And when I'm leaning, it also shows that little black effect. Moving backwards, moving forward, right, swinging wildly. Cool. Now obviously I've been working on more than just that. I just haven't made a video in 2 weeks. So this is my reload animation, my equip animation. Cool. Loading chamber, magazine drop, 1 bullet reload, pump action equip. Right, it just pumps it once. Tactical reload, a normal shoot animation, topping off. Cool. On top of that, I have some sound animations, or not sound animations, sound effects for my Mark 14 DMR, which I'm gonna add after this video actually. There's some stab animations for my knife. Stab sound effects. Why do I keep saying animations? I'm not sure. Flash. You can hear that little bullets being inserted into the magazine and topping off. Right? Tactical reload. Magazine only, 1 bullet. Magazine drop. Cool. Load and release. Load in chamber. Empty reload. Cool. Currently I have my AWM. Oh, that's right. My AWM model just finished yesterday. So the way my creative pipeline works is I create the 3D model first, then I create the animations, then I create the sound effects. And once all three is done, I add it to my game. And so the Mark 14 animations and sound effects are going to be completed at least by today. Then next we have the shotguns. Obviously I'm still waiting for the shotgun sounds, but once that's done, I can add it to my game. And of course the AWM is the last thing to add. And as you can see, there's this. The AWM, this just came in yesterday, so pretty cool. We have this bullet loop. We have the rail attachments, suppressor, muzzle brake, bipod, this buttstock attachment, and of course we have a rail riser. The reason why you need this rail riser is because of this attachment up here. So what this does is it sort of raises, it's sort of like an upper rail attachment, and what happens is if you don't have a riser, which is this extra rail here to raise the scope up a little bit, the scope will actually be blocked by this little rail here, which is why you need the riser. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm actually pretty proud of the Scope Parallax effect, which I'm not even sure I was able to do. Originally, I was actually gonna make my scopes very similar to PUBG's. It was just something very easy to set up. Right, it's pretty straightforward. All you have to do is just zoom in. But you know, I'm actually surprising myself by making this sort of realistic scope effect, which I never thought was gonna be possible. For me, because obviously I don't have any game developer experience prior to this project, and of course I'm learning programming along the way, so it's actually pretty crazy how much we're accomplishing here. But yeah, that's all for today, and thanks for watching. See you guys next time.